No mud, no lotus. Haven't you noticed the patterns of the pain in your past? The things that broke you, they also awoke you to the questions you needed to ask. The sleepless nights and the dizzying heights and the dreams, some of which came true. Tough breaks, heartaches, perfect mistakes created this version of you. And everything you go through grows you, grows you. And everything you go through grows you, exposes who you are. If it hurt, it made you softer. If it was hard, it fueled the hunger. If it touched you, your heart took hold. If it was simple, it made you wise. If it was sweet, it made you smile. Weaved an indelible impression on your soul. Your feet, they walked, and your lips, they talked, and your hands dug around for the proof. Every look, every book, picture in your mind that you took created this version of you. Temporary lovers in the swarm of the deep blue sky. And as the time flew, you planted and gathered your truth as it passed before your eyes. And the wound is where the light gets in, revealing the masterpiece just beneath the skin. But in the glow of your own light, your petals open wide, and you bloom right where you are. And everything you go through grows you, grows you. And everything you go through grows you, expose who you are.
Okay, good morning, everybody. I'm going to start off with a question. What if you had a practical guide that shows you how reality manifests itself and how it would connect to your spiritual beliefs? Well, we have a friend, Davy Hirsch, who created such a model. She calls it quadrinity. And she was trying to figure out how all the creation stories that are out there fit together and what they meant. And then she started having dreams, and she would get these images in the dreams, and then she researched it, and she'd been doing it probably for 20 to 30 years working on this. And we've done a class with her, and a lot of the information you're going to hear, she imparted to us. She has a website you can go to. She has her book written on there. You can learn from it. And so that's just a setup for it. And what I'm going to do here now is put up a screen that shows models. And Neil, I don't know if everybody has this thing, meeting is being recorded. It's on the middle of my screen. I don't know. I just say continue. Okay, sounds good. All right, this is a model that she got. The original model was just a cross. And what she eventually figured out was above the horizontal line represented the metaphysical, and below the horizontal line represented the physical. Now, in her mind, she thought, well, if I'm going to be thinking I'm talking about God, everybody has a different image of God. So, and for instance, Neil, he thinks his image of God was a guy looked a little bit like Rodney Dangerfield. He had a little scowl on his face. He had a heart in one hand and a smiley face in the other, and he waved it. So that was his idea of image of God. And then you compare that to Leon's. Leon's was a black guy with long braids, long dreadlocks, with a joint in one hand and a guitar in the other. And matter of fact, Leon wanted to be the main disciple for this God. He applied, but Bob Marley got the job. So, it kind of left him out in the cold. But Leon did get a bit part playing Matthew in the Last Supper at Methodist Church in Fairfax. He thought he was going to get a Tony, but all he got was a piece of cold pizza from Tony's Pizzeria. Well, anyway, I got off the subject. The model, I'll just go through the quadrants here. The lower left quadrant down here, the informative creator, that's where we are physically. So we're below the physical line. And you can think of that as each one of us individually. So that's me or whoever's in there, Janice, individual. And we are looking at the physical on the other side, which is, well, for a good word, maybe reality with a question mark and a couple exclamation points, because what is really reality? It's what we perceive. So there are some things that as group consciousness we agree on, like, that's a car, that's the sky, that's the color blue, or that's a woman, that's a man. So those are all things we agree upon, but there's a lot of things over there that we use our perceptions to name or to give meaning to. So on this side where we're individuals, down the lower left here, our 5 perceptions are giving us information. So then we put a label on it. We could say it's good or bad, or we could call it something. When we do that, we are informing up into the metaphysical. In the metaphysical, you can think of as the Akashic records or God, or some people think of it as information or energy, or the dark field or dark energy that permeates the whole universe, and that's how we're all connected. So every time you're up in this, sending something from this quadrant to this quadrant, it's going into the records, and it again can be manifested by the creator or the creatable over here, or the informer. So when you're constantly thinking or doing the same thing, you're creating a loop. The informer sends it down here, and you get more of the same down here in the lower right quadrant. So things like we have a mantra in our head about something that we haven't dealt with. So that keeps coming around, and we keep getting the same thing, and we keep seeing the same thing. It's kind of like Facebook, right? You look at Facebook, you pull something out, it goes there, it comes back, and then again something shows up on your screen. So I think basically what our IT people are doing is they're just doing this model on a for-profit basis, but I won't go there. Now, down in this quadrant, you can think of many things that can improve your life or have a negative effect on your life. Your words, your thoughts, your deeds, all those things can improve your physical or your outcome, your outlook. When you do that, that information goes up into the Akashic records and again reinforces and comes back, and you start to see more of the same thing that you put out. But if you put negative up, you're going to see the negative down here in the physical. And that's just going to keep a negative feedback loop. Now, in Unity, we have one of our principles is affirmative prayer and meditation. And I think of it as this point in the center here, where it's neutral. You're affirming, I am this or I am that, using affirmative prayer. And when you're meditating, you're calm and still. So you're not actually doing anything. You can be receiving from the upper right quadrant in your dreams, like Davy did to come up with this model, or you can interpret your dreams if you're quiet enough, is still enough, and you remember your dreams. So this point is kind of a neutral point, and that's where I see our principle of affirmative prayer and meditation right here. Now, this whole diagram would compose all of God, say. Now, I didn't go to tell you that what Davy did as far as dealing with the difference between what people think about different images of God. She created in her mind something called ECP, which is the eternal perfection. Eternal comprehensive perfection, ECP, eternal comprehensive perfection. So that encompasses everything, whether you have a vision of God being, guy up in the heavens, or Allah or Buddha, or it covers everything. So that was one of the things that I wanted to cover. I didn't earlier. So up in the right upper quadrant, this is where you have the patterns that are picked up. And pattern comes from the word pater, with P-A-T-E-R, which also means father. And the upper left quadrant is matter, mother, matter. So in this model, it has the 4 quadrants as opposed to a trinity. Typically we think of a trinity. This brings in the feminine aspect of creation, which in a lot of symbols that we see around, you can see 2 crossing energy waves, and that would indicate the male and the female balance, as opposed to just, God the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. We have, God the Father, we have the feminine aspect, and both of them are needed to create. So down in the left quadrant, am I losing everybody, or is everybody okay? Okay, all right. So down in the lower quadrant here, Jesus made the comment and it's written in John 14:12, truly, truly, I say to you, he who believes in me, the works that I do, he will also do, and greater works he will do, because I go to the Father. for me, that interpretation tells me metaphysically, at least the way I see it, is that down here we are the creators too, and that because he went to God, meaning he went to the upper quadrant, to the metaphysical, and connected. That he connected to God, so he was able to do all these things. And he's saying, if we do that same thing, we could do greater works. But I think this lower right quadrant, there are so many things that are distracting us. I think some of it is on purpose to keep us from knowing that we actually have that capability. Well, your computer can have that capability, but you can't. No, we all can, and we all can connect. Also, when Moses went to the up and got the Ten Commandments into the burning bush, this excerpt from Exodus, Jesus asked who God was, and he said, "I am that I am." And thus thou shalt say unto the children of Israel, I am hath sent you unto them. Now, when I see that term, I am that I am, I want to put a comma in there because I am that. So if I'm affirming I am that, and then I affirm I am. I am that I am. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But when you put it, I am a good person, I'm affirming, and I'm sending that up into the creative, informative, metaphysical area. And hopefully that's going to make its way back to me if I can keep, if I can keep keep centered in my body, in my mind. But if I'm constantly distracted, which is what happens in this lower left quadrant when we see the media, we see the computers, we take things, beliefs from other people, things that we were taught when we were kids, or how our parents raised us, or even energy that is in our DNA, miasms, which have been passed down through our generations. Those affect us. But when we become conscious and aware, we can overcome that. Okay. And one last thing, down here in this quadrant, Luke 17:21. The kingdom of heaven is within you. Now, if we do get centered and aware, heaven will be with us. Now, we're going to hear from Jan about the I am. So what are you doing, for heaven's sake?
Okay, so this quadrinity diagram is called the chalkboard model, and it's to help, and basically quadrinity is to help solve three things: perennial problems, personal transformation, and achieving our soul's goals. So this is like a scientific model of going beyond quantum physics, which includes the feminine aspect of God's creation, which is represented in the upper left quadrant. So I got to read my notes here. So we're going from, again, like Frank said, we're going from the trinity to the quadrinity, which is the upper left quadrant. The creatable informer represents the waters. So in Psalm 23 in the Bible is a part where he makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. So the waters represents the mother giving birth to all, the creative force. Water is also represented by the word marina, Mary, matter. Water is also represented by the Holy Spirit, Akashic memory, the 0 point field. So consciousness and matter does coexist. And this is what this model is representing to us. the metaphysical, the above two quadrants, and the physical, the lower two quadrants. So we are becoming what we think. So I'm asking the question, who are you now? And the mother informs us. We are moving into the higher dimensions with the earth and the galaxy. You know, if you believe in what's going on now with these terms that's been called the new earth, our divine destiny, the ascension, increasing our vibratory rate. So now is the time to find our soul's purpose, our divine destiny, why we took our first breath on this earth. Is it to help create the new earth? Is it to bring about our own ascension, increase our own vibratory rate? So we learn how to intervene with our questions with intention and intensity. So we ask the question with a how, which puts the question into action. To ask why is just a philosophical question. So the question is, how can a radically different method of instantaneous healing of the energy systems of the body be revealed to me for the transformation in our evolutionary consciousness of ascension? Another question, how can my happiness be self-generated? How do the resources I require always show up effortlessly? How can I get more control of using questions to intervene in the consciousness? The trick is to master what we are conscious of. Think before we speak. That's a big one for me. I think that's a lifelong lesson. And to work in the dream state to master our sleeping mind. So when we ask a question, it sets up a receptor. You are now resonating with that answer. Your consciousness is able to return to rest. Meditation withdraws your attention, bringing yourself to a peaceful state. The rest state is to hear the calling of your soul. Meditate with finding your soul's purpose. So I'd like you now to sit comfortably, get into that meditative state. So I ask that you bask in the knowing of what's presented to you from your soul. Your awareness is crystal clear. The mother and you are one. The creator of source, enlightenment. Attune your receptors and make it very clear of what you want to know. Be the observer. Feel your soul's destiny. Taste it. See it. Smell it. Bask in the sense of knowing it. So I'd like you to close your eyes, relax, focus on your breath. Find your soul's purpose, your heart's desire. When you see it, taste it, smell it, know it, you may swell up with tears of joy when it's revealed. Resonance is how we remember. It's your signature frequency, and it's now being revealed. It is attracting what resonates within you. Go back to your memory frequency. You are creating a receptor to recall a memory. The answer, who I am, becomes clear. Okay, you may now open your eyes if you so choose to, and stay with what you are experiencing. Bring it with you throughout the day. You may want to write down your impressions and anchor them into your body, resonating with it. Become who I am. It's the be in being. How are you to be participating on this new crystal clear awakening of your soul's journey on this new earth? Be peace within. Namaste. So now we're going to play some music from Bob Zima.
What's the eye behind the I am? Who's the me behind the eye through which I see? Am I the watcher, or is there something else that's wanting to be seen through me? I've accumulated all these things, artifacts, possessions, names they try to tell the tale of me, but I am holding on to thinking there's a little bit more to the story. Well, I know I'm not the name you say, the things I own, the roles I play. I know there's something breathing me. If you take away my name and you take away these things, you're left with only awesomeness, the essence that I came here with, the everything, the I am, the I am. Here I stand, my conviction strong and clear. And I admit to listening to these whispers in my ear. You might call me crazy, but you know you do it too. 'Cause you know that there's a voice behind the voice in you. Well, I know I'm not the name you say, the things I own, the characters I play. I know there's something breathing me. And if you take away my name and you take away these things, you're left with only awesomeness, the essence that I came here with, the everything, the I am, the I am. Well, I know I'm not the moon, and my finger's pointing to, and I know that I'm not separate from any one of you. It's an elementary game, an energy exchange, the raging river, life's grand giver of everything that I am. Life's expression, soul-bound connection, pure reflection of all that is divine. I am the muse, I am imbued with a golden hue of light. Well, I am love, it's what I'm of. I am above, I am below, this much I know. I am this moment, I am that moment, I'm everywhere, no beginning, no end. And it's weaving in you, breathing in me, this ever-present everything I am. And I am, you are.
hope you guys enjoyed that.
So, okay, Neil,
Where's Neil?
Just unshare your screen there, or unshare.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right, we're going to do that right now.
so we can go back to view everybody.
yay. Hello, everyone.
Back. Wow.
We're dog sitting, which is why I stay muted. Just barking.
It's interesting to think of God in all four quadrants. But God created us with choice. And depending on what quadrant you choose to be in and develop, kind of speaks to who we are today. So thank you for your message. Just a lot to think about, the I am. I know that this is Memorial Day weekend, and you don't necessarily say to somebody, Happy Memorial Day. It's just inappropriate. Although when we're happy, we're also remembering. It's a time of remembrance, not just for our fallen heroes, because I don't like to say the word fallen. I like to think of risen heroes. And also we remember friends, family, our maters and paters, right, Frank? Is that pronouncing them correctly?
I think that's right. Mhm.
Okay. So thank you for your message today. So when we think about not just in memory of, but also think about how grateful we are for our memories, but also for all of this, so that people like yourselves can share what's on their heart and give us an insight to various aspects of unity. So I'd like also to have you close your eyes for a minute and just hold some of those memories with your hand over your heart, if that feels appropriate, to come from a place of not just remembrance, but compassion, joy for those memories, the good times, and some of the hard times. But just take into consideration how grateful we are as a community. And think of the daily word today too, which is inner peace, but the words, peace grows within me as I remain centered in peace. So when you close your eyes during a meditation, maybe think of our membership, think of members that have been close to us, that have been with us, and think of unity, center of peace, more as a verb, unity, comma, centered in peace.
I need it. That's good. That's good.
So today, as we close our eyes, we end with our prayer for love offerings and tithes. Divine love flowing through us blesses and multiplies all that we are, all that we have, all that we give, and all that we receive. And I'd like to also say thank you for all of you that have supported this church for so long. And when I mean supported, in many ways, through talks, through contributions, through service, and I'm very, very grateful for everybody. So if everybody would unmute at this time.
I had one last song if anybody wants to hear another one, Bob Simon.
Okay, all right.
Okay, ready up for that?
Yeah.
Let me share the screen again.
Because we are still recording, Frank.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry.
No. Don't be sorry. Be thankful.
Okay. Let's see it.
Sometimes I cry for a lonely world that's living in a great and divide. Sometimes these tears make me wanna wrap myself up and disappear. But I won't be away too long, 'cause my sadness turns to gladness when I sing this song. If your hand was in mine, when I make you my sister, to make you my friend, I'll make you my brother. If your hand was in mine, want to make everything better. Isn't it amazing how every hand fits right in the other? Sometimes I fear when the jackals outside are the only voices I hear, but the call of the love in my heart is stronger, and a feeling I want to reach out, won't hold back any longer. The world needed just one more lover. Couldn't it be me? Couldn't it be you? If the world needed just one more lover, couldn't it be me? Couldn't it be you? If your hand was in mine, wouldn't it make you my sister, make you my friend, or make you my brother? If your hand was in mine, wouldn't it make everything better? Isn't it amazing how every hand fits right in the other? If your hand was in mine, you'd feel me inside, deep inside, deep inside. Well, it would bring love, and it would bring touch, and it would bring sight to a world gone blind. If your hand was in mine, you couldn't judge and run from me. Point your finger and be done with me. Yank my chain, pull the rug from under me. Hate me, punch me, or hold a gun to me. Hurt me, desert me, resent me, forgive me, laugh at me, attack me, whatever. You can only feel me, be real with me, dissolve the fear with me, rise on up to a higher energy. You can't be above me, below me. When you sit down beside me, hold me and know me. Take my hand, my sister, my brother, my friend, my lover. There are no others here.
Let's not just call that ending abruptly, okay?
I know,
No, she wanted me to cut.
kind of short. It's like, yeah.
It was 5-minute song. I cut it a minute.
So let's close the recording with our prayer of protection slightly modified. The light of the I Am surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of the I Am watches over us. Wherever we are, God is.
All is well.
And all is, some people say, swell. So let's stop the recording, please, Neil.